G'day Internet and welcome back to a slightly belated video. Of the Apple II models, and I've got a couple of them, my favourite has always been the IIc. I don't really know why. I think it's because of its small compact size and kind of everything you need is mostly built into it. But one thing I've never had for mine is the proper little 9-inch CRT, which kind of completes the look of the computer. But as of a couple of weeks ago, I finally picked one up. Now it does require a bit of work, so that's what we're going to take a look at today. So here is my Apple IIc monitor. Now there's a few things I do want to take care of today. One is a strip clean and a retro bright because it's a lot darker than my actual IIc. Inside there is a series of reefer caps, which as we all know have a habit of going bang when you least expect it. And finally, the stand is looking very rough, and so if I get time, I intend to actually paint strip and repaint the stand as well. So let's get started. We'll start by removing the actual stand from the monitor, and that should just be a case of undoing this large screw bolt thing here. And this should come off, and yes it does. Right, put that to one side for now, we'll deal with that later. This, if I remember correctly, and when I say remember I mean from watching Adrian Black's video, as soon as I can find my screwdriver set, we can start pulling it apart. Righto. In theory, this panel should lift off. Yep, right, got it. So that's that panel. Next is this top panel here. Which has got 2 screws in it. And 2 screws up here, although one's already missing. I'm guessing I'm not the first one in here. 1 screw, 2 screws, and this one here. And in theory, this should lift out, I think. So it comes up, right, so that's that panel. Next, let's tackle these 2 screws. To remove those, and there's 2 more here. Now, from watching other videos, okay, so this bit comes out, I think. Oop, there we go, that bit comes out. Now, I believe there is a trick to getting it around the power switch, because the power switch is, and the contrast dial are actually screwed to the outer case, which makes it a wee bit more difficult. Okay. Can I simply just get a screwdriver in there? I can at a funky angle. What? Nuts. All right. Mental note for later. Fish screw out. Might employ a pair of pliers to rescue that screw. And I've got another screw here for the power switch. I'm not looking forward to trying to get these back in, but that sounds like a future Jason problem. Okay. Okay, got that one. Right. In theory, these should now come inside and is there any okay, so it's getting stuck here. You gotta kind of stretch it and lift it off. Right. Here is the back cover. Okay. Oh, there's my screw. Can I get it? No, it's going to have to wait till later. Okay, we now have one screw, one screw, one screw, one screw. And if I remember how to do it, employ the extension piece that is built into my screwdriver. Now, the one that Adrian did, I remember he kind of had to remove the whole chassis and then the tube. That sounds annoying. But I do remember then seeing other photos, at least, where the whole thing came out in one hit. I'm hoping this is the latter. Right, they're all backed off. What happens if I... Yep, and... Oh, hang on. There's a screw holding the LED in. Right down here. Okay. And, aha! Look at that. Sucks to be you, Adrian. You obviously got the hard one. All right. Let's just remove those screws while I can. And I wonder if I can find my other screw. That's not great. All right, I'll find that later. So we now have various bits of plastic and a collection of screws that all need cleaning and retro-brighting. We've got this, which I hope to be able to pop out this logo, even though it's already very, very faded. We have the back cover, the little grab handle, the bottom cover, the back, and the back cover. Now, there's also the plastic on the stand. And my concern is okay, I've got the knob from it, but I don't actually understand how this all comes apart, and I'm really concerned about breaking it. So I'm going to live with not retrobrighting that bit, basically. I can get over that. And that all needs paint stripping anyway. So the next step is to give all this a wash. So turning our attention back to the main CRT unit, now there is two variations of this monitor, one made by Hitachi and one made by Samsung. There's various other differences, but the difference I'm concerned about today is that Hitachi used the old paper reefer filters on the AC, which do have a habit of going bang, which if anyone who has worked on vintage computers before, especially the power supplies, know. But Samsung used polypropylene capacitors, which are perfectly safe. So I've just returned from the garage and given the thing a blowout with the air compressor. So all I'm really going to do now is maybe give some of the adjustment pots and things a bit of a hit with some contact cleaner, give some of the knobs a clean, and that's kind of it for this bit. There isn't actually that much more that needs doing. And with all the plastic parts now dry from their wash, the next bit is, yep, retrobrighting. So with everything outside retrobrighting, it's now time to pay some attention to the stand. Now the paint on this is trashed. It's chipped, it's rough all over the place, and that's before we get to the fact that it's filthy dirty. Now I'm still not comfortable in removing this. Far as I can tell, it's held in with the whole rod, which probably needs punching out. And I'm not willing to do that at this point, so I'm just going to have to be careful of this plastic piece. So the first job is going to basically be to hit the whole thing with paint stripper to get it back to bare metal and take it from there. Now I'm not going to do the paint stripping inside, mainly because of the stench, so it's time to head outdoors. So as you can probably tell, the paint stripping didn't quite go to plan. However, all the paint's gone, and I did actually work out how easy it was to get that out, so that's good. I can take care of that separately. All I need to do now is basically give it a good wipe over with some isopropyl alcohol, and she's ready for paint. With all the retro brighting done, I think it's time to put it all back together. So that's my Apple IIc all put together with its monitor, and you've got to admit, together they just look right. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.